Scott Free is going live.
Let's go.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Broadcasting live.
Listen live online 24/7.
24/7. Around the world.
Right here. Right now.
It's 300 Radio.
And you know this, man.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Scott Free Morning Show. I'm your host, L. Scott. Hey, everybody doing this morning, man. Y'all don't even know what I've been through this morning already. All right, so a little housekeeping before we get started. The website, 300radio.com, right now is not streaming live. So what we're going to do is that we're going to shoot it live. Well, we're streaming right now on YouTube, Instagram. So peace, love to everybody and to my little special Twitch group. I got that going as well. So all those are happening, but we are actually, like I said, down on the website. So please, and I'm working while I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time. I'm going to give you my full attention in a second. Give me a second. Yes. All right. So yeah, like I said, the website is down right now, but the playback will be on there later today. Don't worry about it. Starting this week, we're going to be putting probably small clips of things that we're doing on some of the highlights from the show. We're going to probably start putting those on the website. I've been meaning to do it for the longest. I just haven't had a chance. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Like I said, messed me all up this morning. Got up this morning, worked out, got everything out the way, got ready, got to work. Cut everything on, and everything went haywire this morning. So like I said, the website is down. I have no idea what's going on. I'll figure it out along the way. Miss Lovey is with us today. We're gonna probably cover a couple of different topics. She said she's going to have some topics for me today. So let's see if she has something for me. If she does not, I got a couple of things I want to cover with you guys. Later this week, looking forward to this one. Let me cut this down. This music is very distracting. Let's cut it down a little bit. All right. But later this week, I'm doing a very special show to me. We're going to be doing a show, basically. It's more of an educational piece, but we're going to be doing it about indigenous Black America. I want to cover that later this week. So I'm very excited for that one. If you are excited for that, definitely tune in. I'm thinking about doing that it's going to either probably be Thursday or Friday. Because I'm putting a little bow on the rest of the information as we moving forward. But anyways, I'm out here rambling. Like I said, I want to get everything going. It sounds like everything's going. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to step away for like 30 seconds, play a commercial, and I'm going to check the audio, make sure everything's working fine on my end, because I'm not doing this shit twice today. Trust and believe it. So let me check that. And we'll go from there. All right, so give me a second. All right, I'll be right back.
I tested 300 Radio to see if it lives up to the hype. Let me tell you, it's the real deal. Daily live streams, quality content, all celebrating Black American culture. Whether you're on iPhone or Android, 300 Radio keeps you connected to our community. It's more than just music, it's a movement. Join us and experience the power of 300 Radio today.
You know that feeling when you turn on the TV or radio and it's like nobody sounds like you? Yeah, it's frustrating, but things are changing. More Black voices are breaking through, telling our stories our way. It's not just about being seen, it's about being heard, and it matters. When we control the narrative, we shape how the world sees us. We're not just characters in someone else's story anymore. We're the storytellers, the hosts, the producers, and it's making waves. Places like 300 Radio are giving us the mic, letting us speak our truth. So next time you're looking for fresh content that actually gets you, give Black-led media a listen. Trust me.
We've got old school.
Old school.
And we've got new school.
Always plays the new music first right here.
It's 300 Radio.
All right, we're back, and I'm on time today. I always tell Love it when we hit it up that I'm gonna hit it at 11, but it always seems to be past 11 when I hit it. So today we're gonna go and get right into it. If you're used to being here by now, you know this segment of the show is called the Chill Report. So we're gonna dive right into the Chill Report and come back. We're gonna give her a call. We're gonna dive into some of these topics. Be right back.
It's time for the Chill Report.
It's about to go down.
Oh my goodness. This is my favorite part of the show. It's called the Chill Report. Oh, I love it. But the guy who gives the news, they hate to give the news.
Really? For once in your life, just do the fucking news. All right? No. I'm gonna do the fucking news. No. Here is the fucking news.
All right. Here is the fucking news. All right, I love that guy's voice. All right, so let's get her called up so we can get this thing going. Where you at, lady? Let's see, Kim. Let's see if everything well. Hopefully everything goes well. Oops, got the background music on. Hold on, cut that down.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can.
What's going on, Pimpin'? How was your weekend?
My weekend. Well, we gotta talk about that on air, but
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Well, that means I'll call you
but I
later
will
today.
say, listen, I'm gonna try my best. I am lacking sleep, but I am here and ready to talk.
Well, now you know. All I'm gonna do is say something to trigger you, and you're gonna pump all that energy right back up. So I'm not worried about it.
Pretty much.
So all right. So let me get some background music. I want to hear some background music myself. All right. So I want to hear that because it keeps my mood going. Anyways, what do you got for me today? I know I said you got to give me some topics. So what do you got for me today, ma'am?
Well, I was waiting on you for a topic.
Oh my God. Okay, I got topics. Good Lord.
I
Anyway,
figured you did.
of course I do. But you said you wanted to incorporate some of your own gossipy stuff in here. I was like, cool. So I'm waiting for that.
You know what, though? I'm in a headspace where, you've known me since you've been in the womb.
Right.
Well, after you got out the womb.
Right.
And I'm in like a different headspace these days. I'm not as gossipy as I used to be. But when you bring it to me, I'm ready.
Okay. You like me. I say that all the time. I say, look, I'm curious as hell. So if you say something, I ain't got to know you. I ain't got to know nothing about you. But if you say something cute, I'm going to be like, what'd she say? Who said that? So, but no, all right. No, I was going to say, first and foremost, did you catch the NAACP awards? Matter of fact, let me get you
I did not. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched an award show.
That's because you don't love black people. That's why you ain't watching.
I totally love black people. I just don't like to sit through long, boring shows when I know I can go on social media and get the highlights.
I agree with you.
A couple of highlights.
Yeah, like me. So, like, for me, like, I didn't watch it. I caught a couple of things. Like, of course, like we talked about the whole 50 Cent thing last week. I see he was being petty again over the weekend with that because Michael Rainey won an award. So he used that to throw shade at Lil Meech again. So I did see that.
You know what? I was telling them about our conversation about him, and somebody reminded me of how dirty he is because they reminded me how he clowns and joked about Irv Gotti's passing.
Okay, wait, before we get into it, let me just say this. Again, I feel like I'm defending 50 when I'm not defending him, okay? But I will say this about the Irv Gotti thing. If you know better, you know that a lot of this still had to do with implications about people attacking 50 physically, causing him bodily harm. Irv and them was on that kick too. So to me, I'm not saying I agree with his actions, but I am saying I don't know how I would feel if someone tried to kill me and they didn't succeed. How would I feel about anyone that was involved in it? So let me tell you, that's me.
I'm not expecting or saying the man should have went on and said my condolences, but what he could have done is respected that man's wife, that man's children, and probably that man's grandchildren, maybe his nieces, maybe even his parents are still alive.
Right.
And the people that did nothing to him and just kept his mouth shut.
Now, with all that being said, I 110% still disagree because If someone tried to take my life, I'll be honest, and I love black people. This is probably the only, this and causing bodily harm to some woman physically. Those two things, or a child, those three things together about the only thing I really don't give a shit what culture, who you part of. If you try to cause harm to me or someone that I love, it's just going to instantly, I don't give a fuck about your whole lineage at that point. That's just me.
Well,
that's just me.
That's unfortunate. And that's sad for me to hear, Lamar, because it's like, if you did something, let's say we've all done something to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if somebody, because you did something to them, decided they wanted to take it out on your wife or one of your daughters, and they were like, I don't care. They ain't had nothing to do with it. I don't care. Give an F about none of his people. That lacks a level of humanity. Come on now. No. I didn't say I would go attack any of his family members. I just said I really don't care how they feel about how I feel about their family member. That's what I'm saying. I get that, and I don't think they care what he feels, but to be so callous. We're talking about we're talking about death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
What would it cost you? What would it cost you, 50, to just not say nothing? Whether you care about his lineage or his children, I don't even expect you to care about them.
Right.
But to have what the problem with that is, this is why we're in the society we're in, because we lack humanity for other people.
I disagree.
I disagree. That's a lack of humanity. Period.
No, I disagree.
When you can make a joke about a man dying and he has a whole family, when you can just literally just keep on and go on about your business.
Okay, can I? Okay. Now you don't got me. Now you got my energy up. My energy's up now. I got something to say. Okay. Did this man and his fucking family give a shit about me or my people when he tried to take me out? So why should I care about you? It's this war at that point. What I'm saying is, I don't want no problems with nobody. But if you want a problem, no problem. That's what I'm saying. That's just it.
I'm going to go out here on a limb and say, we don't know what his family thought about 50. I'm pretty sure they probably don't think about 50 until 50 would say something about their family member, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying to you is, when we start thinking like that, that is when we lose our humanity. That man could have a grandchild. I don't know who he got in his life. Let's say he has a grandchild,
right,
that is in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And he go to school because 50 chose to open his mouth and clown his grandfather. 50 was talking junk about, and he just lost his granddaddy. And you want to say F them because Irv Gotti 15, 20 years ago had something to do with his shooting? No. Let me just say this. And I'm going to say it this way. We just have to agree to disagree on this one. But I'm just saying this. I am the most loving, compassionate, forgiving person in the world. If you fucked me over and you come to me in a certain manner, and it's just in a manner that, hey, I did wrong by you. If you just come to me in that manner, I promise you, I will forgive you. But what I'm saying is this. It's just like with the whole Terry and Big Meats thing, especially Terry with the BMF thing with 50. If you basically are aligning yourself with people who tried to kill me, you are telling me what you think of me. And so what I'm telling you is, at this point, you need to think about that you need to think about your own children before you do those actions, because you don't know what your actions may do to those people. But you're trying to give me the responsibility after I'm the victim. And I'm just saying... No, I disagree. Let me tell you why.
What?
Irv Gotti is dead. Irv Gotti did something to 50. Mm-hmm. Irv Gotti ain't looking at Twitter.
Right.
Irv Gotti is not looking at Instagram.
Right.
So the people he's coming for is people that done nothing to him. You don't have to, if you want to go and at home and talk crap about Irv passing, that's your business. What I'm saying to you is
Mm-hmm.
that lacks a level of humanity when you will sit there and clown a man's death. There is no war when the man is dead.
Okay, I see, and I think but see, for me, I think I look at the other side. See, what I do is this. I'm gonna tell you, this is how deeply do I think. One of my kids told me one time, she was like, "You count the lights as we're driving through on the same street going to work every day." And I do that because I'm so about time. I'm so aware that if I don't get to a light at a certain time, then I'm going to be late for work. If I'm late for work, then I'm going to have a problem with my job. If I have a problem with my job, I may have to stay over. If I have to stay over, then I may be late picking up my daughter. See, I'm thinking ahead for any and everybody that's involved in my day. I'm rushing. I could possibly cause the person in front of me to wreck the car because I'm rushing. I'm thinking of all these things. And what I'm saying in this situation, Irv should have thought, and I'm not trying to shit on the dead. I promise you, I have no issues with that man. But what I'm saying is, people have to aware of their own actions because their actions does have consequences for the people that are around them. And just like for 50, 50's doing the same thing. He's a part of a chain. His actions will now affect his children, his children's children. And what I'm saying to you is that, but the person has to be accountable for that, not the person that you harmed, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
But you got to understand, just because he was a victim don't mean you got to automatically turn into a predator. And even if you do turn into a predator, he did shit to Irv. He basically ruined his career. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, he did do that.
Let's be real, right?
Yeah, he did that.
He ruined this man's career. Don't have no issue with that.
Right.
He clowned this man every chance he got. Him, Ja Rule, whoever is his enemy. I don't have no issue with that. What I have an issue with is you coming for collateral damage.
But I don't
in
feel
a
like he's
war.
coming for him. I don't feel like he's coming for him.
Listen. When you're coming for collateral damage in a war that is over, that means you lack humanity. The man is dead. What benefit can this man get out of clowning this man to the world when this man's family, who's done nothing to you, is grieving his? I think he did it the day after it was announced. Tell me,
I think he may have did it on the same day. I think he did it the same day. I mean, listen. I think you did it on the same day. That's how it is. And that's what I'm saying. Look, was what 50 did to Irv or Irv's family something I would have done? Hell no. I have that level of compassion. I do. What I guess what I'm saying is, again, as what I tell you, I think one of the laws, the 48 laws of power is you do not, if you have your enemy beat, you have to basically beat him in the ground. That's what I forgot the lack of words. My brain ain't working right.
He's already in the ground.
I agree. So I thought I was gonna say. So maybe
you're beating on innocent people.
I was saying.
Let me say this to you. Can I say this to you?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done with that. I ain't got nothing. I have no dog in this fight.
I'll be done.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this one, and then I'll be done.
Go ahead.
It's okay. We said this the other day. There's not any group of people this monolithic.
No.
All white people ain't this. All black people ain't that.
Right.
All gay people ain't this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what I'm saying, and now dang, I just lost my train of thought.
See, you went around the world and back again. I do that shit too.
That's it. I got it.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying to you is, you can appreciate 50 for his business acumen and whatever else it is that appeals to you in regards to 50 Cent. And at the same time, you can still hold that man accountable when he does something wrong.
Can I ask you
that was wrong. Two ways about it.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm in a different space in the world for myself. And I agree. Again, his actions are actions I would not have taken. And what I guess I'm trying to say is that, but see, I try to do it this way, but see, a lot of times it's almost like with the election. Remember when the election happens, if you said, I'm not voting Democrat, they say, oh, you love Trump. I said, no, nigga, I don't love Trump. I'm not voting for them, right? Both can, but people just kept regurgitating the same thing. I feel like the same thing here. I want people to understand, I don't agree with everyone's actions, But one thing I've learned through my studying of the world and my interpretation of the world and the way I've experienced it is there's really no right or wrong. There is a humanity makes things right or wrong, like you're saying what 50 should have done. You think that's a humanity thing. Your humanity should have made you this way. But then I would say culturally, that's more culturally than a more humane thing. I think culturally, some cultures would stomp on you. Other cultures would be more polite to you. But I'm more of like you say, I don't think that, let me say it this way and I'll shut the fuck up. I look at the world like this. My actions are my actions until they do harm someone else. Then it's a problem. And I guess that's what you're saying that and see, other than that, as long as I'm doing whatever I'm doing, if it's not affecting anyone other than myself, then who's to say I'm right and who's to say I'm wrong and you're right. But if I'm harming someone, then that's where the problem comes in for me.
Exactly. And he could have his words could have harmed someone who did not harm him. And if I could even get on board with your perspective if it had some level of benefit for 50, but it did. He's gone. It had no benefit, and so yes, I hear what you're saying, but I might have to disagree.
Well, we're gonna have to leave it alone because I'm not.
Right.
I said I'm not
taking.
There is
a right and there is a wrong. You
okay.
know, and that's just my opinion.
I agree.
Opinion maker.
I agree. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm not taking 25 damn more minutes on 50 Cent. Okay, let's leave this topic alone.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you a couple of different topics. So we could discuss. Let me give you a couple of what I have. We can discuss some of what you saw at the NAACP. I have no problems. What else did I have up here? I got a couple of things. Oh, I heard that one of the things out the NAACP awards, I did catch that the Wayans brothers are doing a Scary Movie 6. I did hear that, and Marlon even confirmed a White Chicks 2. I'm gonna get there, but I wanted to say this. But I wanted to say this before I get there about them. Long overdue for their appreciation for their family. The family should have been. They should be royalty amongst us, in my opinion. Even I don't agree with everything, especially the way Marlon do things. I don't agree with everything Marlon do, but you know the whole family and Marlon included, they are iconic. So I think it was well overdue. We can talk about that, or you can talk about Joy Reid getting fired, which I'm okay with. Either or, right now. I got those two right now.
Let's talk about the Wayans first.
Let's clap for Joy Reid though. Let's go.
I mean, it's not too much you can go with Joy Reid. We already knew that there was they've already started a censorship of opposing views, whether you agree with it or not.
Man, that woman is trash. That woman has no base. That trash.
Sir. There are people
don't like that woman.
Listen. That's your opinion, right?
She hates my culture.
I'm the type of person like this. We need differing perspectives and differing points of view. Because there are people who agree with Joy and agree with Joy's assessment. Why should their voices be silenced or their perspective be silenced because the powers that be are in disagreement with her assessment?
First off, I have no issues with opposing opinions. But I do have an issue with opposing opinions. Like, this is the whole thing. You can be as reckless as the fuck you want to be. But if you get your reckless ass in my lane, now we got a problem. Joy put her reckless ass in my lane when she called me a Russian bot because I asked for tangible. Then I'm going to tell you, huh?
No, she didn't.
She called Black Americans that were saying that they wanted their reparations and they needed this. She put on her, I can pull it up right now and show you. I was looking at it this morning. Well, she done called us Russian bots because she don't agree with our fucking. Yes.
Oh, did she call people Russian, or did she specifically
she took the word? No, she used the words on her screen. And if you want me to pull it up, I can pull it up while we're talking. But she put on the screen.
No, I believe you.
She put on. I'm gonna tell you what she said. I'm telling you what she said. She said, people who consider themselves, if you hear the words online, foundational Black American, then that's a Russian bot. When I'm sitting here and telling you, no, we are in groups and organizations. Everybody's together, basically stumping one drum. Black America needs its reparations that was due. And for us to say, and people said like myself, is either that or I'm not voting for you. And she said, oh, don't worry about it. They just Russian bots. Don't pay no attention to that shit. She knows that people know. No.
This is my point. I've only caught Joy Reid when she went viral over something she said, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying to you is, if there's ever a person or a group or an organization that aligns with your views, right?
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, there's millions of other people that disagree with it, right?
Okay, but Hope, this is my only.
You got to hear my point. You got to hear my point.
Go ahead. Woo-hoo. You got me touched.
What I'm saying to you is,
okay,
when you start censoring people, and
who censored her?
Huh?
She just got fired. What do you mean she's censored? She's fired.
This woman had a hot show.
No, she didn't.
Why was she fired? That
show's not hot. That show don't get no views. That's why she got fired.
Why was she fired?
Because they said they were downsizing and moving in a different direction. Means she ain't getting no views.
Sir, Then why do you care what she thinks if she's not even reaching anybody?
I don't think Roland Martin get that many views. Go look at his channel. He don't get that many. But that raggedy nigga always got something to say too. I don't like any person that speaks out loud against me. I'm gonna have some smoke for him. I got time today.
No. I don't have a problem with you having smoke for them. What I'm saying to you is, when you start censoring people, you do know the White House. The White House has censored the media. You can't even get into the press.
No. Okay, you heard that wrong. You heard that wrong, Levin. You heard that wrong.
What?
Okay, so this is what they've done with the press room. Before, only legacy media was allowed in. ABC, NBC, BBC, all the ones that is controlled by 3 people. Well, what Donald Trump just did, actually, and which I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump, let me preface it, but what he's actually did is he's opened it up to where even people who have big followings on social media that are independent can now be asked questions in the White House. I actually agree with that.
I agree if that's what the case is, but that's not what I heard. What I heard was he was banning organizations, networks from being in the press room. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If what you're saying is what, and it could it be possible that both are true?
No.
That he opened it up to.
No. I'm excited for the fact. See, this is one thing I don't do. I'm gonna tell you another thing I don't like. I've learned since the Democrats have lost, especially since they've lost. This is one thing I don't like about the Democratic Party, and I hate this about them. There's only time that there's any racism in the world, it has to come from the Republican side. But when I see shit that's happening to me from your own camp and you say it ain't happening, I don't like it when you keep trying to play me in my face. So like what's happening a lot of times since Trump has taken office is he's the boogeyman when he hasn't done anything that is directly affecting the black community. So I'm not outraged yet. Now, if I should be outraged, then I should have been outraged the last 4 years, which you wasn't outraged about. You were happy about that. And see, that's my issue. Not you. I'm just talking about Democrats. A lot of them, not you per se. I'm just saying that's what happens a lot of the time. You get me?
Well, let me ask you this.
That's me.
While you were talking, I was trying to Google to see.
Go ahead.
If I could find.
Oh, why you say that too? Did you hear what they did with the USAID money? Oh my God.
What did they do with it?
What some of that money that was going place? I just saw a list, some of the itemized list of things that money went out to. Man, 2 things at once. They are pushing LGBT across the world by the millions, for one, and then 2, They giving money to shit that don't matter at all, and then also at the same time giving $700 to people who lost everything in Asheville. This country is horrible when it comes to that.
Well, how do you feel about Elon Musk taking that money and putting it into SpaceX?
I don't like anything Elon Musk does when he takes money to put it into anything he's doing.
Well, you said something a minute ago. You said that he has not done anything to affect.
Yes, give me something.
Community. So there are a couple of things that are being tossed around.
Okay.
And are in the works.
Okay.
And I don't know if any of them have been implemented, but one of the ones that is kind of scary is the ending of Medicaid. What do you feel about that? Would that be something you consider affecting our community if it happens?
Yes, but again, I'm not saying that I'm not a Trump supporter. And I've always said this, and you can test this, the audience can't contest this, but you can. I've always said both sides are together and they only work to push one agenda. You're just never a part of it. So I always say that. So let me preface. So far as that specifically, that would be horrible if he did that. You get what I'm saying? And
yes, speaking to what you said that he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, what I mean is this. I'm gonna tell you this: the last 4 years, illegal immigration, which just turned into legal immigration, they flooded us with anywhere from 10 to 20 million people, and they put those people on top of black communities specifically, to the point where they closed down things in my community. See, that directly is attacking my community. Now, when you affect everyone, I may not like the actions that you're doing, but what I'm saying is you're not targeting me, is what I'm saying. That was a target at me.
What do you feel about how they are eliminating financial aid to HBCUs? You know they're going to end up shutting down, right?
Okay. First and foremost, I haven't heard this, so I can't speak to this. So say what you said again.
Okay. So they are eliminating financial aid that's given to HBCUs. They're going to be eliminating that. So if you're a HBCU, you won't be getting any type of federal funding. And we already know. Okay,
so now I had to ask a question though, because I'm gonna tell you, this is the one thing I'm going to say. Now, that would be openly racism, right? That would, and I'm gonna tell you, in my years on this planet, they don't move like that. So what I'm saying is, in that, what is that gives me the justification? And I'm not saying you didn't say this. What I'm saying is, can you give me also what their justification is for why they're just targeting HBCUs?
They're calling themselves they are shutting down programs, financial aid, federal jobs in the attempt to, and I'm putting up quotation marks.
Okay.
What's the term they keep saying? They're trying to eliminate waste.
Okay.
So anything they deem not appropriate, like what Elon Musk announced over the weekend that every federal worker has to send in an email justifying their job.
Oh, I did hear that.
Send in an email and saying
that's crazy.
Tell me what you did last week, and if you don't do this within 48 hours, we're going to take that as your resignation.
That's crazy.
He didn't give a reason why. So what I'm saying, they don't need a reason to do the thing they're doing. And one more thing. Let me just say this real quick because I'll forget. You said in your lifetime you haven't seen stuff so openly racist. And what I keep telling people who say certain things, we are in, and I'm not saying totally, but we are in unprecedented times, and we are going to see some things that we have not seen in our lifetime, and we have to be prepared. This is not a Republican versus Democrat. This is not a babyface versus Peel. This is a MAGA situation, and it's totally different. Wait, one more thing. With literally a non-elected official with his friends have access with no vetting to the Treasury Department. That is unheard of.
Right. So I'm going to ask you a question before we even get into that, right? Because see, what that gives is that also gets put right in Donald Trump's lap. And I'm going to say to you that also lets me know Donald Trump, like I always say, is no different than Barack Obama, than Joe Biden, than Bill Clinton. They're all figureheads. You know how I know this? Because this would happen. The whole reason there's multiple branches of government is because they're supposed to check and balance each other. So explain to me how in the hell, if one man could make that much work happen without everybody being on board? That means it's not just Donald Trump. That means that every person in every office is pretty much saying, or at least the majority of them are saying, this is cool with me. And so what I'm saying to you is this. That means then it's okay, and it always was the plan to put him there. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe he was there on purpose. His job, I don't believe he's doing half the shit they say he's doing. They keep saying he's a genius. He's not a genius. I've seen him interview. He's an idiot.
Elon Musk?
Yes, he's an idiot.
Oh, of course, yes. His dad said he thought he was mentally slow. What I'm saying to you is lot of the stuff, go ahead. Oh, a lot of the agenda he's doing is unconstitutional, right?
Okay, so why have no one stopped it?
There's a break,
So if it's unconstitutional, then somebody would have stopped it by now. Why is no one? Why is it the judge that they always tell me that can come up from the Supreme Court or somebody from Congress hasn't said, let's block this nigga? Remember when Joe Biden was supposed to get all of this student loan debt removed, but he couldn't because they kept blocking it? So why is no judge blocking this?
A judge is blocking a lot of the stuff that he is attempting to do. For example, he's trying to end birthright citizenship.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Sir, you're going to have to you don't need me because you ain't letting me get a whole thought out.
I said get rid of it. I'm championing what that was. I agree with that. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry.
You are championing getting rid of birthright citizenship?
Yes.
So if someone comes to this country and they get citizenship, well, hold on. Let me back that up. Anyway,
okay,
they get birthright citizenship, right?
Right.
It's unconstitutional for him to think he can do it by an executive order. If you can name one thing he has or anybody in the Congress other than trying to get this man a third term, that's the only bill I have heard that I personally have heard that has gone through Congress. He's not going through Congress. This is the point. He's trying to unilaterally, him and Elon Musk. Let me backtrack. And there are federal judges who have blocked that. That's the only one I can think of right now in my mind is the executive order that's unconstitutional that he's tried to attempt to do on his own unilaterally that has been shut down by the federal. But let's be real. We know this man has the Supreme Court in his back pocket.
How did he get it? How did he get that?
When he was able to put 3 MAGA judges on the Supreme Court during his first tenure.
So those 3 changed the whole game because there's more than that. So what?
There were more conservative. There were already conservative.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think majority of your government is racist towards black people?
To your point,
yes.
Our government is not who's running this country. It's the people that are paying to get their representatives in. And let's be real, you're right. Trump is a figurehead. And the only difference between Trump and the rest of the ones that have come before him, the only difference is his how do I put this?
Yes, please put it for me. I'm lost.
Elon owns him. Okay.
How did he?
That's who put him in that seat. And Elon is so cocky.
Pause.
He don't want to be behind the scenes. He wants everybody to know he running back.
Come back here to me real quick. I want to say this. How did Elon? This is what I'm trying to get you to see. Remember when you ever noticed that whenever, like Barack Obama, let's take him as a key. People that defend Barack Obama always say, Remember, he couldn't get anything done because Congress blocked everything. So then what people would say, well, why he just didn't sign executive orders? Then they said, well, he couldn't do that because they probably would have stopped them too, or they would have killed him. And then I would say, so my always question is, so that tells you how your government, or at least everyone in majority of the positions, feel about you. So it really doesn't matter who's in office. The only time anything's ever going to get done by anybody in office with this type of thinking is if this is the case, is if they hate black people, because anyone that likes us can never get anything done.
The powers that be, I don't know if it's like or just don't care, because our community does not affect them. So hate or just I can't think of the word, but or just don't care. If it does not benefit them, why would they even concern themselves?
Well, they explain this to them. But see, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would they allow 15 to 20 million illegals who are just coming here, and then they prioritize them? See, that doesn't make sense. They don't affect me. Why would I allow people in here who could cause problems, who could be here to cause?
You're the one that told me they bring them in because they're labeling them as white.
No, they
get a benefit.
I'm agreeing. I do say that. I'm asking you. See, that's my opinion. See, I'm asking you yours on why. If that logic you give me, then why would you? See, what I'm saying is that on paper, it would not make sense. It does not make sense to send United States taxpayers' money to Serbia to make sure that people humpback whales can learn how to dance. And I'm picking, but literally some of the things that they were giving millions of dollars away were for that. See, it doesn't make sense to do that. And then you have a powder keg always ready to happen but you have all this money to give to black people. Black people are owed something and they just refuse to do it. Let me say it this way. I'll say it this way because I'm ready to go all over the world.
Are you asking me, is the government racist? Is that what was your question?
I said that was my question. I said, do you think your United States government is racist towards black people?
I think every system in this country is racist. I think the education system is racist. I think the healthcare system is racist. I think the government is racist.
Okay, so
I think corporate America is racist.
Okay, so if that's the case, then it's not Donald Trump. It is every person that's in that spot. It isn't Elon Musk.
Including him.
I agree. I totally agree that all of these people are against me. But my issue is, but I only seem to feel like when you talk about them, see, I can bring up these things about Kamala Harris, and you know what you would tell me? I have never seen that. I would need you to show me that. But I get that you need to be validated. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that what you're seeing now it's actually less egregious than what we have just experienced the last 4 years. And
I don't know how you think
I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to say this: black people, since the beginning of the 1900s, every year, even though we were subjugated and not moving at the same pace as white America, we always gained wealth in our culture. After COVID, we went from $2-point-something trillion in spending power back into the billions, while at the exact same time, white America gained almost $20 trillion in wealth. How did that happen? And we're both going through the exact same thing. That is a plan. So what I'm saying is,
a plan. I'm not quite sure what your point is, though.
My point is this. So what I get upset about is the things that cause me harm. Someone not getting birthright citizenship does not affect black America. So I don't care about that.
No. I never said it affected. I gave you an example of the thing I could remember.
You're giving me things. Let me say this, and I'll stop. Donald Trump, yes, is giving smoke to a lot of people right now. And I am not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, it just seems like when the Democrats are in office, we're the only ones that seem to get this smoke. But now that they're not in office, they're spreading the love, and we're supposed to jump out the window now when we should have jumped out 4 years ago, is what I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying.
But I respect your point. I'm not even disagreeing with your point. But at this point, it's February 24th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, we don't need to talk about the boogeyman that was there. We have to talk about the boogeyman that's here,
God.
right?
But see, we do that because mind you, and the reason why I don't like that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that, is because of this. Again, the stuff that I keep hearing that he's doing, I keep hearing all of the stuff he's gonna do. You will get me to call out stuff that only time I pick out things that happens with our government. You know that I don't bring up everything. I just bring up the shit that is affecting me and my culture. So what I'm saying is that I understand everybody thinking the world's on fire. It was like that when the last time he was in office, and it still didn't directly affect my community like that. So what I'm saying is, while I'm watching all this happen, good, let everybody else hold some of this, because my culture can't keep holding this shit all by ourselves.
Hold on. You didn't answer. Of course, basically what's happened, the only difference between then and now is where we were catching it and everybody else was good. Now everybody's catching it.
Thank you. Hold your own
We're
nuts.
not absolved of that. So, but my question to you is,
but we're talking about him like, oh my God. But we're talking about, but I'm just saying, we're talking about him like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, this is normal every Tuesday for us.
But if you're going to talk about, and it's Kamala, not Kamala. If you're going to talk about Kamala, if you're going to talk about Kamala, and you're going to talk about Joe Biden and what they did to our community, but say nothing but, well, I know Trump doing that, but they did this.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me what's. Tell me when it's coming to my door, and I'm going to hold his ass just like everyone else. That's all I'm saying. I don't like them. See, I don't have a party line. So for me, mine is just that I'm just mind blown.
I don't either.
But this is my point. I'm just mind blown at how black people can pay so much attention what is going on politically when a Republican's in office, and then when a Democrat is office. Because you just checked me on that lady's name when she has done some egregious things, and she said out her mouth, "I am never going to do something specific for black people." So no, she don't get that respect from me. I don't care if she's cosplayed as a black person ever. I don't respect that. You say something niggerish about my culture, I ain't got no problem with you. I don't want to deal with you no more. I don't.
You don't have, listen, you got to make sure that when you're battling a monster that you don't become one too. All I'm saying is and let's be let's put that to the side, because she didn't even become president.
No.
So
thank God.
I found the article. So the USDA has suspended funding for 19 HBCUs, including North Carolina A&T.
Okay.
That's the point. That's the one that I want to get back.
Keep going. No, I hear you. So now, did they, in that article, did they tell you why they cut to 19 institutions?
Did they say? Well, let me ask you this. I have to read the article because I just found.
Okay. Well, let's shelve it.
But let me ask you, what could they have a valid reason for doing it?
I would tell you the only thing that I could say out of my mind why they were doing it, especially since this whole Doge thing is going on, is that means that they're actually not bringing. That would tell me that their institution is not producing enough probably graduates versus the amount of money the country's giving it. That's the only thing I could say.
So you're justifying them taking all this money, putting it into private white schools.
No.
And then removing funding from these HBCUs. Probably what you just said, wouldn't that mean that they should be putting more money into it and not less?
I would say this. No.
You're making a justification.
No, I'm not making it. You said no. You asked me. Listen, I'm gonna say something.
I bought you something that directly affects our community.
Okay, I'm
because
ready.
with this, the way they have weaponized DEI, it's going to be that much harder for Black people to get in PWIs because no, we can't. We're not going to let you in. You're just getting in because of DEI. We're going to be even more uneducated.
Okay, so
even more unempowered. They are attacking HBCUs, and you're going to see more. And remember now, he's only been in office for 2 months. You're saying he ain't seen nothing yet. We had 4 years of Biden, 2 months of Trump, and I'm giving you something that is directly attacking the little education
Okay,
that
so
we
now
do
let's
have.
but let's go deeper, because what happens is this is what I don't want to do. I do not want to take that title, run with the article title, and then just blanketly state me say he's attacking black people. The reason why I don't do that, because I don't do that on either side. So when I criticize someone, that means I have to understand why I'm criticizing them. So let me say that first. Secondly, you're not going to like my answer when it comes to HBCUs. It is going to be the reason why is because of this. They are very underfunded, I agree. But they're also bought and paid for, and they basically, their curriculum isn't affecting black people in a positive manner. If you look at it, they're not hiring black people from HBCUs. Even the ones that are graduating with 4.0s and high amounts, they're not hiring them because...
How have you made that assessment?
Because I've seen the statistics before.
Because a HBCU alum came very close to becoming president of the United States.
Okay. I understand that she almost became the president of the United States, but she also comes from a stock and lineage that has some wealth to it. I don't look
Do you know that black women are the most educated in this country right now?
Yes, I do. They go to college at a higher clip than anyone else. Yes.
I'm not sure where you're going with it.
Well, you won't let me get there. You won't let me get there. You won't let me get there.
I gave you something really legit, and it looks like you're justifying them underfunding.
Listen.
Pulling
I haven't
funding from HBCUs.
Listen, I haven't even got. I was going to tell you this. I was going to say you wasn't this. If you had asked me about HBCU, can I ask you a question? Who is the black person you know other than me? Right? Do you know anybody?
You mean mindset?
No, usually how I act when it comes to everything. Am I the guy who always talking about black this, black that all the time, right?
Oh, are you the one, the blackity is black I know? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the reason why I made that statement is this, and this has nothing to do with the conversation now, because I am not compartmentalizing. Why did my daughters both go to PWI, as you think, then, if I'm that guy?
I have no idea.
I'm going to explain why. The reason why I didn't send them is because when I took them on the Black College tour, took them together at the same time, both of them, they're not only underfunded, the curriculum itself is a degenerate culture. And I'm speaking of, I don't want to throw no, I'm not going to throw. So, and I'm going to tell you why. So you have the name HBCU attached to it. But why do no HBCUs have any African studies really about black people? But they have Arab studies, the schools that I went to. They had other studies when it comes to these things. They had so much curriculum, but none of this stuff was about empowering us. So for one, that was one strike. Second strike is I done the research on people who
did the PWI? Did the PWI?
No, they do not. But this is my point. So let me get to my point. Two, the second issue what happened is this. The purpose for my children to go to college is to not attend an institution. It is to find viable employment or some skill set to basically be able to fund themselves at a high clip. When I did the research and I started watching how college graduates from HBCUs wasn't even getting considered, I'm not going to put my children in the position to have them do poorly just to stand on it. And I love my people. Now, if we want to build up our institutions, I'm for that. I'm for us building our institutions, having our own curriculum for our institutions, and then you will start seeing people start doing something. And I'll tell you what I mean. Dr. Umar, I do not think is capable of being able to build this school on his own, but I still support it, and I have supported it multiple times. It's because I don't think he's an enemy, and if he could ever get it done, potentially, hopefully, maybe he could get it done with the curriculum he said out of his mouth that I agree with. Go look at Howard's curriculum and then come back and talk to me. You'll feel differently.
Now, Lamar, you said you stand on, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have to do our own. We have to take care of our own.
Yes.
We need our own. But then when we create it, you're critiquing.
That's not our own. No, that's not our own. That's not our own, though. You got to be.
So when I bring to wait a minute, Lamar. So when I bring to you,
that's not our own. That's important. See, that's what I'm trying to say. That's very important. HBCUs were funded and started by white people. They're not our own. That's not our schools. I don't know why we think this just because they have a name on it. They're black targeted. We don't own those. The Koch brothers are on the board of a lot of these schools. Why is one of the biggest racist white people in the world, the Koch brothers, on the panel? Because they own that thing.
So now, which board are they on?
I know they're on Howard specifically. They donated money and the criteria for them to do it, they got on the board. I think it was a couple $100 million.
Which one?
I think it was Howard. I think. Just look up the Koch brothers and see which board that they on, because they're on boards.
Okay. Also, to your point about not getting hired if you go to a HBCU, you know, my husband is a Hampton University alumni, and he has. He stays in contact. It's like a core thing, right? He has several friends, and he has this friend group that he met in college.
Right.
He has one friend who is a dentist who owns several Aspen dental franchises.
Okay.
He has 3 other friends that are engineers. He has another friend that's a chiropractor. He has all of them Hampton University alum. One of those engineers' wives, who also went to Hampton, is an engineer. He has another one he's a VP. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it's a corporation, but he's a vice president of some Fortune 500 corporation, as well as his wife. Which I don't know if she went to a HBCU or not. So I'm not going to include her.
Okay.
What you're pushing is a narrative that I don't agree with. There are educated Black people in this country. A huge chunk of them, if not the majority of them, are coming out of HBCUs. Now, I can't attest to who does African studies and if they're propaganda and all this other stuff. I can't attest to that because I did not attend an HBCU. But I can tell you off of personal that I know of 10 people who have exceptional careers who went to an HBCU.
Can I ask you a question? Then why is it that government HBCUs have to be government funded then?
Because there's not enough alumni
to
come in and invest like the white alumni invest in the PWIs.
Okay, great.
Let me say this too. Also, don't get it twisted.
Okay, go ahead.
These PWIs that are state universities and stuff are correctly funded, not underfunded. They are correctly funded.
Okay, so let me say two things. One, I do agree. I know that they're going to fund themselves more than they fund Black schools. I know this is going to happen. I know this. Secondly, the reason why I brought that up about that is why is it that the alumni doesn't spend more like PWIs? Why is that?
Because we are a society, we are a culture of people who don't put our hands back.
No, we are a culture of people who make up of 1/2 of all the businesses in this country. That is why we can't give back.
You don't have to own a business. Let me tell you. Let me be wealthy enough to put your hand back.
Okay, this is the problem that you're missing, though. If we live in a racist nation who prioritizes itself over you every time, and we have proof because every time they do this, that the reason why those institutions are failing, it's not because the institutions are failing. You can graduate with flying fucking colors, but if you got to come right back to the white man to hire you, that is why you're falling. You can't build yourself until you have.
You changed your deflection.
No, what I'm trying to get you. Listen.
You asked the question. Why is it that?
Oh, go ahead. Let me finish my statement. My statement of reason why I say that, and the reason why I ask you about why they don't push back, they don't give back because we don't have the funds in our community to do so. So since we are not funded, it's because we are not getting hired at white places at the same clip as everyone else. You know it like I know it. Everyone in this country knows.
I don't know that, Lamar. I disagree.
Did you work in corporate America? Did you work in corporate America? Did you work in corporate America?
And it's more than just corporate America. I mean,
blue collars is not
a plethora of careers that make.
Every career that you just named me, every career that you literally just named me, I can definitively, without Googling it, and put my house up for it. It ain't a nigga that's owning and running them institutions. They ain't got more Black dentists than it is white dentists. They ain't gonna be none of that. I'm telling you this.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. What your original question was, why are our HBCUs
there's
not
no
funded
wealth
like white institutions?
There's no wealth.
And I gave you two reasons. One, because the government is properly funding them, and two, the ones that are the alumni who do very well. One of which is your niece, who at the age of 25. Okay.
This is what you're doing. See, this is what
when you play this back, I want you to realize you cut me off every time I was in the middle of it.
You did to me too, but I'm gonna stop and let you make your statement. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go ahead because we're both passionate about this. Go ahead.
One of which is your niece, who at the age of 25 who is single, became a homeowner on her own merit based on the job that she was able to acquire coming out of her HBCU. It is, I'm not saying it's on the same level as the PWIs. Of course it's not, because we're going to fall back. We're going to run it back to, because this is a systemic racist country.
Can I say this?
To say that they're not efficient, to say that they're not beneficial, and to say that they're not putting black people in positions where they can thrive is not true.
Okay, so this is
are doing
let me
that.
say this. This is what you're doing. You know how when they go on the political campaign trails and they're going out to start getting revved up to become the new president, and they start going on these different platforms, and they'll say things like, I would talk to Susan who worked at the diner at such and such place. You know what you're doing? What you're giving me is a situation of successful people. I understand that. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that statistically, out of 43 million black Americans, we are not accumulating any wealth at all. So if we're not doing it, yes, there are going to be super uber rich people like Tyler Perry. There are going to be some people in the middle. That's what it's going to be. But they are called buffer people. The majority of us are all down here at the bottom with the scraps looking up at those people. You want to know how I know this to be the case? Because we can always say the same people's names. Tyler comes up a lot, and Will Smith's name come up a lot. They come up so much because it ain't a lot of them. You know what don't come up? We don't know the Asian person like that. We don't know the first white person to do something. The first of something is a problem now. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to shit on HBCUs. I promise you that's not what I'm doing. I am supporting of black people doing for themselves. What I'm trying to say is this: these institutions are owned and funded by white people, and they're running them in the ground on purpose, and they're cloaking themselves in the fact of, we're doing right by you people because it is HBCU. I don't want to talk like that because I know they're not. I know they don't love on that.
I can't follow the logic, and I'm going to tell you why. If they're doing that, then how did they allow black women to be the most educated in this country?
Can I ask you? Okay, no. Okay, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, every time I talk.
Go ahead. You asked the question. I was gonna answer the question, but go ahead.
What I'm saying to you is this: I can't say and I'm a benefit of that because my husband has a good job, and I'm able to do things that I want to do because of that. And he wouldn't have been able to do that.
So it's not me shitting on them. I'm not shitting on the school. So I'm not saying you can't be successful.
Though you can't throw your hands.
I'm not doing that. No. See, you're doing the thing when I say about Democrats. If I say I'm not voting for Democrats, then I'm instantly voting for I'm not. I'm not saying that you cannot be successful from an HBCU. I'm not saying.
You literally said you did not send your daughter to one because they would not
let me say
thrive.
Let me say this.
They would not be successful.
I said the reason.
That is the epitome of shitting on HBCUs.
Let me say why I didn't send them. Let me ask you this. Okay, can a person come from the gutter and become something? Yes. But is it easier if they have help and they don't have to go that route? Yes. So why, if I'm going through the process of looking at HBCUs and they're not up to par, why would I put them at a disadvantage to do it? Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't have sent them to one if they couldn't go and they couldn't be successful, but I'm talking about increasing the odds is all that I'm talking about. I'm not going to put them in a situation if they can do better just because it's a morally right thing to do. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't be successful.
I'm going to give you an analogy.
I'm trying to get to a point of something, but I wanted something I wanted to say to that. Before you go there, I wanted to clear this up about this whole thing. Let me just say this about HBCU. I'm not shitting on HBCUs. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this. You said this about black women being the most educated. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. Majority of the black women, and this is, you may not agree with this, you may agree with this. A lot of the black women go to college, let's be honest, is because they use those incomes to supplement themselves. That's one. I know because I've seen a lot of black women do that. Two, it is unfortunate and it's fucked up and egregious that literally you just said they're the most educated, but you are still at the fucking bottom. That tells you it does not matter what institution you're at or anything else. It's just telling you we have a racist problem in there. That's it.
So let me ask you this. If that's the case, if the black women are the most educated, how is sending your girls to a PWI? Because once they get out that PWI, they still a black woman.
Yes, but I'm going to give you an example. Classic example. So my daughter goes to a private institution. She gets a full ride to the private institution. She goes. She's there. The professor's there that she meets. He actually gets her to walk her into the next place. So now in her graduate school, she got walked into the door. She got into 6 graduate programs, one being Ivy League, because of the people and the connections that she met at that PWI. So what I'm saying is that is one of the things that helped her in the process of it. Also at the same time, that same thing helped her little sister get into an institution because of the same thing. And so now she's on that same program path. That's the thing that I'm saying that helped. And
but listen to my question. But once she's done and she gets out there in the workforce, she's still a black woman.
Right.
And guess what? And this is why fighting against DEI is important, even though it does not really benefit our community. Because when she gets out there and she starts looking for jobs, she ain't gonna get them. You wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they've decided because of the color of her skin, she's DEI.
Can I say something to you? Sure. You say that like that wasn't already the case. And it does not matter what was on the books. When they said affirmative action was supposed to have been for black people, then why the fuck did it end up being all white women? Because none of those things that you ever say ever makes it happen. At the end of the day, every institution that says that they're an equal opportunity employer still shitted on me when I got in there. So what I'm saying to you is that it looks nice on paper, but what I'm telling you is that at the end of the day, it always ends up that way. So she was going to be a black woman whether she had a DEI program or not a DEI program. It wasn't going to affect her any better.
But
it wasn't going to change the outcome. It wasn't going to change that
for a reason. I mentioned that because you were implying that you've been making some statements about HBCUs, and you were saying I'm this because I'm going to do that and this, and then that's going to give them a heads up and a lead and all that. When I'm saying to you, if to your point, you could send them to PWI, Harvard. You could send because if I'm not mistaken, I've heard them refer to Obama and Michelle as DEIs to get into Harvard. But
were they? Because every time I hear people always use those things, my whole thing at the end of the day is that, of course, I'm going to hear a white person going to say that. Asian person gonna say that, a nigga's gonna call him this. My whole thing is that I don't give a fuck what people keep saying. Is that the case that happened? That's my whole thing. Tangibly, did that happen? I don't care about perception. I care about reality.
You do need to care about perception because the people that have that perception are the ones that are the key holders. And
they're always the key holders for some odd reason.
And I'm gonna go right back to what I said about HBCUs. I think my issue is not so much what you're saying, is that it's literally it can't be both. It can't be we need to do for ourselves. And I get what you're saying. You're telling me that the powers that be are the ones that are running the HBCUs.
Yes, they run your institutions. Yes, they run all your black organizations that are on the books. The NAACP, the Black Caucus, all of them are ran and owned and controlled by the people who are trying to harm you. All of them. And with I
can't attest to that because I don't know that. If that's what you say, then,
I mean, you don't have to agree. My whole thing is I don't look for to say these things to have people agree with me. What I'm saying is to you honestly.
You're saying your perspective.
No. I'm not even. I'm going to tell you like this. My thing is just like this. 1 + 1 = 2. If my black organization that's supposed to be here to advocate for me only seems to advocate for something that isn't me, then that is not my group. And so what I'm saying is, and I'm trying to say about HBCUs, and this is the whole thing, because I don't ever want to come off like I don't think my people should not do for themselves or have something of their own, or that white people are better, because I don't. I honestly think, and I say it, and I don't mix my words, I think black people are the most intelligent people on the planet Earth. Yes, I said it out loud, I don't care who agrees. So that's my point of view. My whole thing is this: we are so fixated on doing things in the manner without paying attention to the shit that has happened. Those institutions are not producing us at a high enough clip because they can't even afford to give back to the institutions. The reason why I know this is because we don't have no wealth in our country. And if we don't have no wealth, but we all going to college, there's a problem for that. And so what I'm saying is for this: until you build the industry for yourself to become the rival to the people who are not trying to hire you, we're going to continue to fucking fail. And that has nothing to do with me not caring about HBCUs. I want us to be the only ones that are funding them. That way we don't have to worry about who likes us and who don't like us. That is just how I feel about it. I am not talking about separating from us, because we're already separate from each other. We may get to eat together, but everything else in this world is separate. Everyone else thinks group first. Everyone else thinks lineage first. But for some reason, we kumbaya, but we're the only one losing. I'm just looking for a solution, and doing the same thing we did yesterday isn't the right solution, just in my opinion.
Well, then we need to talk more about solutions
Let's
and
do
less
that.
about the problem, because that's the one thing I think we're missing, because
let's do solutions. I can give you solutions. From my opinion, perspective.
okay, what's your solution?
Solution says this. I can tell you like this. First and foremost, you always talk about the collective of black people. So I would say this. If I could control the president of Black America, I would say just like this: everybody that is employed today has to give up $5 a week to the cause. You want to know why I said that? Because when I saw the statistics that all the money that Black America put into going to see Black Panthers, that they could have actually funded their own school system, I said, oh shit, we just ain't putting our money where it need to go. So basically, $5, me too. I ain't never been to HBCU. I would fund the HBCUs gladly every year. So my whole thing is, economically, we have to all put some skin in the game. Then when we put the skin in the game, you have to become a scholar at what you do before you can start giving people the information to give it back. And I mean, you have to be scholar. And then too, I don't have a problem with a board. I do not have a problem with us coming together as a collective and letting majority win. But what I'm saying, what we cannot continuously keep doing, is allowing other groups in who have harmed us in the past to say, hey, this time I'm not going to do it. I cannot believe you. I'm sorry. I'm a person who was battered and beaten and raped, and I just can't trust that this time you're going to do right by me. I'm going to have to do right by myself this time. That is my solution to get us rolling. That's mine. And if the government wants to help and do right by us and say they're doing a good favor by us, then pay the reparations that you're supposed to pay.
So what you're talking about is empowering Black people, right?
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this, and can we save this for the next time?
Yes, go ahead. Oh, hey, how long have we been talking? You just been arguing with me?
You've been arguing with me. You've been arguing with yourself, because I ain't barely got a word in.
Whatever.
But,
You going to play it back and hear you say majority of the talking.
You were. You'll see. You'll see.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I tell me how or if you think the powers that be are going to allow that to happen. This is not me being a devil's advocate.
No, I know what you're doing.
I legit want to know, do you really believe that the powers that be is going to allow real, true Black empowerment?
I won't go into a long diatribe, but I will pose this back to you. If you do not believe that they would allow that to happen, then what's the alternative? That would be my question back to you.
No, you got to answer my question.
I'll
first.
answer it. I have no problem, but I thought you said you wanted to shelve it for next time. I was just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's all I was just
That'll
saying.
give me something. Yeah.
Because my only response, that's always going to be my response, is because what you're telling me, I agree.
The only reason I have a response to that, but that's going to get into a whole nother.
You just got to show up for work earlier. That's it.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, I hear you. We can discuss that next time.
All right. 10-4. But look, I appreciate the conversation for the viewing audience. I promise you, we're not gonna fight. I promise you, this is how we do it from time to time. And
well, you know, we gonna fight.
And you know, I'm right and you're wrong. That's the end of the day. That's all we need to know. You know?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Anyways, all right. So you're gonna be work. Oh, this is supposed to be your Wednesday week. You working Wednesday or no?
I'm gonna let you know. Right now, I'm saying yes.
I'll see you Friday. Bye.
Bye.
See you. All right, peoples. I'm back. All right, so let me turn up my music a little bit. Hold on a second, people, because that was a bit heavy of a conversation. Hold on, peoples. Let's cut it up a little bit. All right. All right. I'm back. So there you have it, people. That conversation went kind of left, but we do that from time to time. And let me speak to something she said, because like you say, uninterrupted, so I can make sure you guys fully understand my viewpoint. So when I say this, again, I am not here to pile on to HBCUs. I know that there are successful people that come out of HBCUs. I am not trying to shit on HBCUs. I love HBCUs. I'm just saying they are underfunded. We cannot give back to them like that white institutions can, because we're not being employed at the same clip. We live in a place that doesn't prioritize us, and they not only don't prioritize us, they do things actively to make sure we don't do better. And so what I'm saying to that is that these institutions, even though they have black in their names, are not as black as you think they are. And I could dive into that if y'all want to dive into that, but and like you say, for her, she always catches me off guard. I like to prove. I like to show proof what I'm talking about. But I promise you, they're underfunded. They are, and their curriculum doesn't speak to empowering us. See, we have to understand, just to be educated in a white system doesn't mean that. Like, I hate this. I hate when they say reparations should come in education. Well, no, we go to college right now, and I go to school. The place I was from, it was 50-50. It was 50% black, 50% white. For some odd reason, then that same same high school institution came out. A lot of the white people went to school, became doctors, lawyers, businessmen. And then we had a lot of crackheads, things like that. 9 to 5 workers. People just didn't ever do anything with themselves. And I'm talking about studious people who went off to college. When they came back, they never did anything with themselves. And it's not because I don't think that they are not intelligent enough or they can't do it. I think it has to do with more than anything else. It's just the people who are trying to hire them don't want to hire them. So I'm sorry. You cannot just I can't do this. I'm so sick of doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. We have watched college enrollment in the 1990s shoot up through the roof through HBCUs. Then it fizzled out now. I really don't like any of these college institutions. The only reason why I sent my daughters to college in the first place is because what is the alternative? We live in a gig country now. Everybody's Ubering, everybody's DoorDashing. What is the alternative? So you're gonna have to miss me with the fact of I'm not going to put them in a position to do worse, but I'm like this. But if we collectively, this is what I'm not doing. I'm not martyring myself. But I will collectively build with my people. Let's do it. So let's do this. If we're going to boycott the NFL, I still boycott the NFL. So I don't understand this whole, we're going to do it for a short period of time. No, either we stand on it or we don't stand on it. She made the reference of, do I think that these people will allow us to build in those institutions? I'm going to say it like this. That's the mindset. That's the reason why we failing. Why the fuck do you need to allow someone to allow you? You grown just like they grown. Is there consequences to that? Yes, there's consequences for not doing it. Every day we die a slow death. So what I'm saying to you is this. I'm not trying to cause harm for them. I'm not telling anybody to fight. But what I am saying is this. If you want something to get better, you're going to have to do better. And me relying on or looking at what happened in the past, let me look at what they did wrong. Let me fix that part. One big part, they didn't have a military. Let's put some hands on some people if they need to do it. Let's do that this time. Let's organize this time. Let's make sure we fund our own this time. Let's stop throwing them under the bus because everyone else says they're wrong. Let's do that. Let us do that this time. But who am I? I'm just passionate. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a guy with an opinion. Anyway, good show. She worked me up. Now I got to go de-stress and get the rest of my day going. But I appreciate you guys for showing up. We had a couple of people come in. We're still at 600 something. But no, I appreciate you guys for showing up. I'm not gonna hold up your time. We're gonna get out of here. I appreciate you. Check in tomorrow. Probably be just me tomorrow, and I'll holler back. All right, see you in the next one.
Whoa. Before you leave this podcast and go somewhere else, did you hit the notification bell? Because if you didn't, please do so now. And I'm talking to the people who've already subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well. Hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
From the city streets to your home, we bring the vibe to your phone. Music videos and the hottest news. 300radio.